Hey dolls, welcome back to your royal BFF, the People's Duchess. Happy Friday! We've made it to the end of the week, and Prince Harry has made it back onto US soil, popping up in New York. And the first thing I thought was, man, that jet lag has to be something crazy. I don't know how this man does it, but he did it. Pops up for the inaugural Time 100 Sports Gala in New York City. The event was held to celebrate Time Magazine's first ever list of the 100 most influential figures shaping the global sports landscape. It highlighted the Duke of Sussex for his foundational work with the Invictus Games, and he gave a speech. And in that speech, he reflected deeply on the profound purpose behind the adaptive sports tournament. And of course, when the speech is actually released, I will have it for you guys, but the footage hasn't yet been released. It's still way too fresh. But I was able to get a transcript, and it was so heartwarming. Classic Prince Harry. And rather than taking the opportunity to make it about himself, he turned it to the women and men who serve and those athletes that the games provides hope and new purpose and healing for. It was really lovely, y'all. He loves people. He loves the people that serve. He feels such a profound connection to them and their families, and it really comes out in all that he does. Prince Harry is one of the few royals that are actually worthy of their title. I mean, we all know that royal status is just an accident of birth, but Harry has earned his title. Unlike those chocolate medals that the rest of his family has pinned on them for absolutely no reason, Harry has really a lot of valor behind his medals and behind his prestige. The rest of his family just have accolades and positions of power handed to them without having to do any of the work. And not only do they not do anything, they don't care. And you can tell they don't care. And we can stop being dishonest or intellectually dishonest about the role of the royals with the public. We know that they do not care, right? And you can see that in their actions. What do I mean by that? Well, for example, the meetings with the First Nations. The First Nations, by the way, are having an incredibly difficult time right now. Fires have ripped through a lot of the First Nations in Ontario. There's a whole lot going on right now. There are several ways to help. I've put them up on the screen here. There's a lot of charities that you can donate to if you can. Donate the time, money if you have it. If you could, please keep us in mind. I would really be so appreciative of that. But yeah, the meeting with the First Nations could not have been more different between the two brothers. When Bill and Kathy got there, they had just gotten married. They had a baby. They had a baby, for goodness sakes. It was supposed to be a slam dunk, home run softball tour. That did not happen. The First Nations told him to get the hell on and do not come back here. We're not going to participate in any of your performative nonsense. And you can only surmise from their reaction that what William and Kate did was go out there and look down their nose at those First Nations people. Why else would they react like that? Why else would they tell them to never ever again set foot on their property? Unlike the reception that Harry and Meghan received when they went out there, they were welcomed warmly. They had blankets wrapped around them. They were gifted honorary things for their children and titled with honorary titles. And that is done because of who they are. And I think nothing illustrates my point better than their arrivals, right? So Prince Harry arrived and he was so personable, so good to the cameraman. And given all we know about his anxiety with the flashing lights, this made this particular interaction so endearing.
Perfect, there it is.
And one lady, there's one lady, it's me.
She's the best. Nuh-uh.
So I can't find the footage anymore. They've apparently scrubbed it from the internet, but the OG squatties will know. Remember when Bulliam went to like Jordan or something and he had like a hype man come out beforehand and not only give the crowd like those little flags to wave around, but he hyped him up. He was like, make some noise for William. So involuntary. The response was so involuntary, but it highlights the deference. They didn't want to be there. They're just showing deference. It's deference versus genuine love and respect. They are genuinely loved, genuinely respected, and the rest of his family are given deference because they tumbled out of a royal uterus. And that's it. That's their only qualification. My father is, my mother is, that's it. And as such, you can really see the difference between not just how they're received, but how the people that they talk to talk about them. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but pull up any receipt where you see any world leader or any person that they've met gushing about them, telling you how much they've kept in touch and how beautiful they are inside and out, how lovely they are. Da, da, da. No one talks like that about the royals. The only royals people ever gush over after having met are Harry and Meghan. They're the only two royals who have lived in the real world, can talk to real people. I mean, he shared a stage with some of the best and brightest. Our king, King James, LeBron was up there. He also gave a very impassioned speech. God, every time I see LeBron James, I can't shake that image of Princess Karen wanting to crawl out of her skin just because he touched her on the shoulder to take a picture. She was so uncomfortable, and I'll just never forget that. She acted like he was hitting on her, and then all the royal newspapers were like talking endlessly about how he wasn't supposed to touch her, like it was a breach of royal protocol. This is the only other time I have seen royal protocol applied to someone, and it, of course, is another black person. For some reason, LeBron James was supposed to have abided by this imaginary royal protocol of never touch a royal. Right. And this is why you're insufferable to most people. This right here is how and why you're insufferable. You were standoffish to a king, an American hero, because you didn't think that you would have any use for that person or a friendship between you and that person. He's on top of the world, and you could have had someone that you could call on to make your American debut go a little bit more smoothly, but instead you treated LeBron King James like trash. And that's why you were booed when you went to another basketball game years later in America, the Celtics game, I remember. You were booed. You were booed out of that stadium because they remembered this. You weren't worthy of even being in the same room as LeBron James, and this is how you acted when you were. Unlike Prince Harry, who I was surprised to find out had actually received a jersey from Knicks MVP All-Star Carmelo Anthony back in 2015 at this event at Buckingham Palace. The difference is so stark. Harry has had a very long-standing relationship with people in the sports world, in the American sports world, particularly in the NBA, and this is how he received them, and this is how they received him. So it's a stark difference. And I was surprised because I thought that Harry had just gotten into sports after moving to the US, but the truth of the matter is he has maintained these long-standing relationships from day one, which is why we saw him seated beside Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, at the Knicks game. It wasn't by happenstance. Adam Silver didn't wake up one day and say, I want to have the Royals here and Harry is the representative, so let me extend the invite to him. Harry is just Harry in these circles. He doesn't have any airs about him, and that's why he was seated next to Adam Silver. He's a long-time friend of the NBA and the players. So that's the difference. That is the difference between respect for a role, respect for a title, and genuinely liking someone and wanting them to be around you. This is why he's getting this award. It has nothing to do with his titles. In fact, I've said this forever. Those titles are an albatross around their necks. They are hanging heavy. If anything, people look at that and go, ugh, prince, or ugh, princess. Like, who's a prince and princess in 2026? And beyond that, beyond the absurdity of having royals in 2026, people just can't even think about that right now. And it's austerity, it's a hungry time. Everything is super ultra expensive. People can't even afford to eat. You're talking about some prince and princess. That is usually an off-putting thing. And especially with the royals of the UK, they are one of the most dastardly families, the most egregious and vile royal families out there. They tolerate you, and tolerance is the lowest form of acceptance one can offer, by the way. This is not deference. This is respect. This is mutual respect. This is love. This is, hey, you're a really cool guy. You want to go skiing with me and gold medalist Eileen Gu sometime? This is love. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you've got some pictures of Bill and Kathy hanging out with gold medalists and other world leaders when they're not faking it for the gram, right? when they're not doing a fake engagement for publicity, when they're just hanging out on their off days. I would love to see it. Yeah, Prince Harry really is that guy, and he's been that guy. So even though he's being honored for his work in Invictus, like he has literally been that guy in the sporting community for such a long time, and this is such a long time coming. Congratulations to Prince Harry on his Time 100 Sports Most Influential induction. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Buy me a coffee if you're so inclined. Hit me up on my socials on Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, guys. Please be safe out there. Be kind to yourselves. And until next time, bye for now.